So, I just got done watching Raw. I know this is like the next day or whatever that is, or by the time the 4 people that watch this video will probably be Wednesday. Uh, the thing is, I don't have cable, so I have to watch Raw on Hulu, which is the 90-minute special edition is what they call it, which is fine because usually I can't handle 3 hours of Raw. It's way too much. Uh, this was an okay show. I thought this was very interesting on how they were building it. Uh, Basically, it starts off with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns in the ring, pretty much saying how they're going to beat each other at the next pay-per-view. And Daniel Bryan says that I'm the better wrestler. It's pretty much the same thing he did to John Cena at SummerSlam from 2 years ago, or a year, yeah, 2 years ago. Uh, it was good. It was a good segment. Triple H came out and said that he's going to be fighting Big Show and Kane in a tag match. You know, Bryan and Reigns. So they did the match. It was okay for what it was. They showed a replay of Roman Reigns' spear on the Big Show on SmackDown that I missed, or yeah, SmackDown I think it was, or last week Raw. Can't remember. But that spear that Roman Reigns did was sick. It was great. It was an awesome spear, and that's the way his spear should look. And for the most part, that's what it looks like. He's changing his spear move to get better with the fans. And you know, for the longest time, I was saying that Roman Reigns sucks. Roman Reigns sucks. This guy's awful. And you know, for the most part, wrestling-wise, he's not very good. But I'm not willing to say that this gimmick needs to be dropped. And I was one of those fans that was pissed when he won the Royal Rumble. Not really pissed, but just it's anticlimactic. So they do the match, Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. I think they threw it out because of a disqualification, and then they announced that they were going to do a 5-on-2 handicap match later on in the night. I was like, great. So Daniel Bryan hits Roman Reigns with a kick on accident because he was trying to hit Kane to build this kind of feud between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. I think there was a match between Dolph Ziggler and Bray Wyatt. It was okay. I think Bray Wyatt got the win. I'm okay with that. It kind of sucks for Dolph Ziggler, who seems to can't even buy a win nowadays. There was another match, but the rest of it was, for the most part, filler. Then came the Triple H call-out on Sting. This was good. This was a good segment. This is something that Raw has been missing for quite some time. The production team behind it, whoever was in charge of it, kudos. That was a great segment. Triple H comes out and says, for the last 14 years, that he and his buddies stuck with WWF, whatever, and buried WCW, and it took Sting 15 years to show his face in a WWE event, and pretty much saying that he is the enemy, he's WCW, the face of WCW, even though that's kind of Hulk Hogan, but whatever, that he is the face of WCW. So the lights go dark, and you see kind of Sting out in the Raptures, kind of. Now, I don't know if that's what that was the intention was. That was really good. Then the lights went off again, and then they show the Titantron of Triple H, him talking, and then a Sting face in it, which was kind of freaky. And then it kind of, as a fan, I was lost a little bit. Like, I felt like a kid again watching this segment. Even though I know that somebody obviously had to have done the production behind it, and if Triple H is the boss, he would know about it. But for that 5-10 minute segment that they did, I was lost in that, and that was a feel good moment. Even though I always hated Triple H as a kid, and I've never been a Sting fan, but this moment, made me kind of excited. And then the lights go dark, and Sting shows up in the ring. Triple H falls to his back, and then the lights go out, and he's gone. And then on the Titantron, it says, "I accept." That's awesome. For the people that are watching this video right now that haven't seen that, go check that out. It was a really good segment, and it brought me back kind of to when I was a kid during the Attitude Era. So that was good. And then came the 5-on-2 match between Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, who seemed to patch things up against J&J Security, whatever, uh, Kane and the Big Show, which that's a nice team there, and then Seth Rollins. So they do the match. I thought it was going to get thrown out. For some reason it didn't. It should have probably got thrown out because the beginning of the match was kind of bullshit. So what happens is they do the match, and towards the end of the match, you had the cavalry of Dolph Ziggler, Ryback, and Eric Rowan, I think, came down to save because it looked like it was going to just be a beatdown, and guys kind of disappeared, and then it was Daniel Bryan and J&J Security left, and Roman Reigns, who was like dead on the outside. Well, Daniel Bryan fights back, and then looks like he was lining up for the running knee, and then Roman Reigns tags himself in, hits the spear, and wins the match. Daniel Bryan was angry about it because he said, I was about to win this match. You did nothing the entire match. You can hear him yell it. You've done nothing the entire match. You laid on the outside. I carried this match, and you took this victory away from me. And Roman Reigns pretty much didn't say anything. He just did his little, the arrogance thing there. So then Daniel Bryan pushes Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns bounces off the ropes and hits the same kind of spear he did the Big Show. The only problem is Daniel Bryan is much shorter, so the spear didn't really look that good. It was okay, but I understand what he was trying to do there, so I would give it a pass. So overall, show was decent. What I really want to talk about is Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns at WWE Fastlane. Can we just call it No Way Out? So it makes me feel like I would rather see these two at WrestleMania right now, because and it's nice. Oh, and I totally forgot to mention John Cena versus Rusev, and who cares? So anyways, back to what I was talking about. Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan is kind of a match I'd probably rather see at Mania than Fastlane. Unfortunately, we're going to see Lesnar Reigns or Lesnar Bryan or a triple threat. And Lesnar is way out of these two guys' league at this point. I mean, I could see Roman Reigns probably getting a victory on him, but it's not believable. Roman Reigns is the same style as Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar is just better. So it shouldn't happen. And Daniel Bryan would probably have a better chance if you're pretending like wrestling's like real for a minute here. Daniel Bryan is the submission style wrestler, which matches up well against the power styles, and that's why he's able to win matches. I still can't see him believably beating Brock Lesnar because Lesnar's just way too big, way too powerful, and the way he's been booked, nobody can really beat him. Roman Reigns would be the closest thing to it that's on the roster right now, and he's nowhere near close because of his injury the past when he missed the few months that he missed. It really killed his momentum, and plus the fans are starting to turn on him anyways. So realistically, Lesnar should win at Mania. This just shouldn't. I know that you kind of want to build a star here, but to maybe having Lesnar lose just totally destroys everything you accomplished throughout the whole year with building more prestige to the title. Who's going to win between Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan? I have no idea. I think they could do a swerve and have Daniel Bryan turn heel, or they could have Roman Reigns turn heel. I don't want to see either of that. The guys should just stay the way they are. Seth Rollins could interfere, but pretty much what it comes down to is you got to get the title off Lesnar, and there's really no way to do it unless if it's a triple threat match, and you have Roman Reigns pin Daniel Bryan. That would be the only way that you can get the title off Lesnar, and then have Lesnar be irritated and not want to have a rematch and just quit because of it, because of him being put in that match. You just can't. Or you have Brock Lesnar win at WrestleMania and then retire. I mean, that's pretty much what it comes down to. Unfortunately, I mean, it sounds like it sucks, but you know what? As fans, we just got to get over it and just let it happen, because realistically, we live in a time period where wrestling is a lot different than it used to be, and us fans seem to know a little bit more because of the internet and stuff like that. So it's really difficult say to say that Daniel Bryan should beat Brock Lesnar because the wrestling the me personally I would love to see that, but and I'm not a big Daniel Bryan fan, but I like when stars are made at WrestleMania. That's kind of a feel good moment. But having him lose to Brock Lesnar just wouldn't make any sense considering Bryan's been out for as long as he would. Now they could have a epic match and we could be really back and forth and make it look like the guy could win, but Lesnar should win the match unless if it's some kind of weird gimmick, an Extreme Rules match or something like that. That would be the only way I could see Lesnar losing the title because that's the only way he has lost matches in the past is when it's a gimmick match. I mean, he should have never lost to Triple H, but he did and Cena beat him in a gimmick match. But when it came down to an actual like one-on-one match, no outside interference, Lesnar dominates, and that's pretty much what's going to happen. The only thing I can think of is Roman Reigns turns heel at Mania and aligns with Paul Heyman. That could be a way to get the title off Lesnar, but right now WWE needs to get the belt off of him, and they don't know how to do it. And having Reigns win clean would be a disaster because the fans are just going to turn on him. And the fans have already turned on him. This Raw was kind of mixed reactions. People were cheering for Reigns. They booed him, kind of like how you see Cena get his boos on his entrance. Daniel Bryan was kind of getting some boos too. It was kind of a weird crowd. I don't know why. Maybe the fans are they don't. I don't know. I don't know who they think deserves that spot. I mean, Daniel Bryan looked like the obvious guy that probably deserved the spot, but maybe the fans like to cheer for bad guys, and the only good guys that really get cheers is Dolph Ziggler at this point, because they cheered him when he was a bad guy, and then when he turned face, they still cheered him because that's the way they are. And Ziggler's whole personality hasn't changed; it's the same. He just fights bad guys now, and he's nicer to his teammates. That's the only difference between Ziggler's face turn. Another thing I want to talk about is I guess WWE is now changing WrestleMania to instead of it being numbered to actually branding it as WrestleMania. That sucks. You know, I like WrestleMania 1 through 30. This year it's not called WrestleMania 31. It's called WrestleMania, and I guess next year it's going to be called WrestleMania. Uh, it's unfortunate. It's kind of nice that wrestling has kept its numbers. I know football has its Super Bowls and they have their numbers on their Super Bowls, but I don't think anyone actually remembers the actual numbers. They remember it more of the years, where wrestling is remembered by its numbers. Like for me, I can tell you WrestleMania 17, what the main event was. But if you tell me what was the WrestleMania main event in 2001, I'd have to think for a minute. But you tell me, because I know it by numbers. And for football, it's the other way around. I know it by year. So that sucks for wrestling. It's not a big deal. We'll get over it as fans, but it is what it is. So this is Mad Dog 2001. My NXT review got me about 5 views. I am going to do another one tomorrow after the pay-per-view or special event, whatever it's called. So I will have another review up tomorrow night for that show. And thank you for the 5 people that watch. All right, Mad Dog out.